when I'm off season looking at areas to go in hunt, for the following year, often I do a lot of this in the wintertime. So if I know a specific area that I want to hit and the research is all done, in fact, I may have some really particular information about where, in this case, goats are from either I've scouted myself and I know that a certain areas are where they live, but generally speaking, they're in a certain block that I have, whatever I have 10 days to hunt this area. I'm going to really just pull apart the area itself, and I'm going to blow it up so that I have the whole area covered, and automatically it gives me distances. So it gives me a really, not even a rough idea, it gives me exactly distances between certain points in this area. So that's the first thing that I'll do. And this mountain block that I've got 10 days, it's 153 square kilometers. So we're talking something that you would need to have 10 days to hunt, probably, certainly a week, depending on the team and depending on your physical ability. So now that I've got that area that I know I have to hit, and then I have also the information of certain drainages that goats have been found in, whether I've seen them myself or somebody has told me about. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by saving the area, and I can rename it if I like. So let's call this Goat 25. So that's saved. Now I know specific drainage that certain goats have been found in. So I'm just going to take my waypoint. I'm going to mark it there, whether I've seen them or I have information from friends or scouting, doesn't matter. I know that this is where goats tend to live, so I'm going to put that point on the map, and I'm also going to add the goat symbol to it. And I'll go back there, and I'm going to put Billy Goat, indicating that that's typically where billies would live or have been killed in the past. Save that. Now I want to find my way in. So I know that there's a highway or this is a water drainage. It looks like it's quite hikeable. I know that I can get, say, my airplane in this case onto this riverbed, specifically in this area. Whether other people have done that or whether there's a strip. In fact, I can look right here, and in this actual area, there is an airstrip just to the north of where I want to hunt. So perfect. I have that there. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to my waypoints. I'm going to mark a waypoint on that airstrip. And then I'm going to go to A for airport or airstrip. And I'm going to name it. And this is Goat Strip 25. Save that. Okay, so now we know I've got my airplane here. I want to get to this drainage where the goats are, and specifically where billies have been seen. So now I'm going to take a line, and I'm going to move this over so then I can just I'm going to stay on the near side of this drainage. It looks like it's quite manageable to walk. Now here, that looks like a great camping spot. So let's add another point. It's not too far up into the drainage where I think that I'm going to spook the goats if they're in there. And I can just add another waypoint. And we'll call Okay. So what we'll do is we'll save this line to this point. And now I'm going to go and add a waypoint. You have to do one of these one at a time. I'm going to add a camping spot to it. Let's make that blue so it stands out. And I don't really need to name it because I can tell it's a tent. Save that up. Now let's continue on. So from the camping spot that I've got, moving up the drainage, I'll be able to tell what the distance is to where I think that the goats will be. And roughly within, 3 kilometers from that camping spot, I know that I up the drainage where possibly I'll find the goats, or I can certainly be on. As soon as I leave that camp, I should have my head on a swivel, be looking for goats at all times. So that's really how I utilize this system, going from having the whole area, knowing how big it is, how much area that I think I can cover in a certain period of time. And then I find my route in, the access points, and I mark them all. And in this case, I've marked the airstrip that I'm going to land on, a spot that I think I'm going to camp at, and a spot where I think that the goats are going to be. So that's how I use this information. And then once I take it into the field, I've used the offline maps that I've downloaded of this area. And now I've got very detailed specifics of the area with my route and everything on it as well. So all the heavy lifting is done while sitting at home and just gathering information that you put together so that when you're in the field, it's seamless, there's no issues, and you have all the information you need. So if wintertime is hit and you're really wanting to stay motivated and stay in the game of hunting, this is what I use. I just take some time, I sit down, and I try to remember all of the information that I learned over the last season. Had I had this system 25 years ago, the amount of information that I would have never forgot, number one, but that I would have instant access to would have been amazing. And if I had have marked every sheep or every good ram that I'd seen over the years, it would really paint an amazing picture for me. So that's what I do now in the off season. I certainly go through all of my data and try to remember everything and put it down onto onX so that now I know next year when I'm looking at a specific area, I've built a route in this case, I built a great route in because I know the area, I've done all the homework, and this is really one way to keep me motivated in the wintertime so that when it is go time to put boots on the ground, all the heavy lifting is done and now I just have to go and do the work. So onX is the way to go. It really, really helps when you need it out in the field. And if you do that work ahead of time, it makes your life a lot easier.